there's a real good possibility she could feed all three of them.
I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about the tail docking. We do their tails at 2 days old. Supposed to be going into some really, really brutal temperatures in the next couple of days. So they spread the straw for you.
It's just underneath 2 o'clock in the morning. Just had a pair of real nice lambs. Yeah, that's my little bottle baby, wants to get fed. So had 2 lambs. She had this one on her own, and this lamb was born backwards, but she would have easily had it on her own backwards. It came out quite easily. But I was there for that lambing, and he's just he's only about 4 minutes old right now, so he's just not getting up yet. And this one here is about 10 minutes old, 15 minutes old, and he's already been nursing. You know, the Dorsets are extremely vigorous. I will give him that credit. Anyways, these lambs are from Hamish again, and it looks like a first timer. Perfect mother, no problems at all. And right now, I'm going to feed that little orphan baby. It's having an extremely hard time. Hey, oh, what's wrong, buddy? Hey, what's wrong? Hey. So we're gonna feed him for a second. It's 2 in the morning right now, so I'm here. I might as well feed him. Hey, buddy, come over here. Show people how good you are. Hey, come on. Hey, don't get all hyper. Come on. There you go. Oh, they want to be hugged, eh? It's 2 in the morning, and he's getting a little bit of milk. She's actually growing already in a couple days. Back up, let me see. There you go. See, I haven't been in the barn since 9 o'clock. I haven't been in the barn, so I just come in the barn. About 30 minutes ago, she was in labor. That sheep behind me. And I went and had a coffee, came back. She had 1 lamb, and I helped the second one because I was there. So she has twins. Takes about 10 minutes for me to look after them all, get them in the jug, feed them, and I'm out of here. And nothing else is happening, so I'm going to go and have my cup of coffee and try to get some rest. The barn's quiet. Oh, you're going to be able to finish that or not? Eh? Slowing down a little right now. Is that it? Want a break? Hey, you want a little break for a second? No, I'm not your mom. No, I'm not your mom. Take a little more, come on. I'm gonna waste that milk. Oh, yep, in the mouth. There you go. I think he'll finish it. He's only got about a ½ an inch there. He's slowing down. That's it? You really can't finish it? Come on. Hey. How's the jacket feel? Oh, you're warm underneath there. A little more, and I'll finish it. Come on, I can go and have a coffee. was a good meal, eh? Now you can have a nap. There you go. He's extremely happy now. His two little brothers and sisters are doing well over there. So it's really quiet. There are two right there. Oh, she actually has, this sheep has triplets, and none of these babies will take the bottle, so, yeah. How this turns out is, we just keep monitoring these when they go into the pen, and eventually, if she cannot feed all three, one or two of these will start slipping on the bottle with the other ones. So the bottle babies we have, these will end up in the same pen. And then, yeah, when we see that they need more milk, we'll just slowly introduce a little bit of milk to them. Probably not the best way to do it, but there is a real good possibility she could feed all three of them. But so far, the lambs are doing really good shape. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that will turn out. It'll turn out fine, believe me. It's just that how are we going to determine which one will need extra milk, or whether all three would do fine? We'll have to figure that out. So, but three good lambs. And you think these two will be laying under that manger. But they got the little corner there. She had a single. She's a little wool blind, see? She can't see. So we're going to trim that up. Oh, she actually has twins. Sorry about that. And we're going to trim that wool up a little bit today because she can't see. We're going to do a little bit of a morning check for a second before I have a coffee with my lovely wife. So far it sounds pretty quiet. Oh. What's up, Mom? There's my two new lambs last night. Well, I'll just do a quick check at the back of the barn. Oh, somebody's crying here. No lambs. Hey, what? Buddy. Doesn't look too comfortable. Let's check her out for a second. Hey, bub. Are you okay? Hey? Hey, Mom. Hey. Mom. Oh. Just having a sleep. Well, I guess coffee it is.
Hi, I'm just about to tag that single big Dorset lamb that we had, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about the tail docking. Somebody asked about that. I know we've discussed it before, but you know, we have lots of people joining the channel every day, so sometimes things will get a little repetitive, but I figure it's just a little reminder of what we do, why we do it, why other people may do the things differently, and what the theories are behind some of the practices sheep farmers use. So right now, here he is. Hi, buddy. Wakey, wakey. Before they leave the jug, they get their ear tags done so that we can trace them. One's a radio tag, which links the lamb to the mom and will allow me to put in a history on him. The other one's a farm tag, which is for quick reference, and it's actually also a safety measure because inevitably I find these radio tags, they're lost or they don't work. So his tags are in. He gets a little selenium shot. It's selenium E. It's sub-Q. It's just a little bit under his skin. And that's because in this area apparently we're selenium deficient, so we just give them that. He's got that, no problem. We give him a little bit of Baycox, so just a couple of mils. That helps prevent coccidiosis in the future. Seems to work for us. And the next thing we do is the tail. So, as you can see, sheep are born with long tails. Some breeds are actually born with tails that are already kind of docked, like a Shetland sheep has a short stubby tail. But most have long tails. The reason for a long tail is this. They can swat flies. So nature provided them with a little fly swatter to help them in bad weather. Flies are a real problem with sheep if they get dirty bums or it's really damp conditions. The flies will land on them and have maggots. Sorry. And the maggots eat away at the sheep's flesh. So it's a natural thing to help the sheep. However, in Canada, the United States, and some other countries, tail docking is a very popular practice. For us, we dock the tail, if you can see, right here, the skin ends, there's kind of a skin area, and then the wool starts. We like to dock just as the wool starts, and when you do that, the tail will come down and cover their private parts, so they can still use a tail to brush off flies. Let me do this because he's struggling quite a bit. So a little elastic band, a little band like that, goes on the end of the tail there, and in a few weeks the bottom of the tail will just drop off, and then he'll have what we call a bunny tail. We just put this thing on here. This guy's 85. So this gives us a visual in the pen, because Mom has 85 on her back too. So in the UK and a lot of Middle Eastern countries and stuff, they don't dock tails at all. They leave them natural, and the sheep do perfectly fine. You will hear people say that if they have long tails, the rams can't breed them as well. That's a myth. It's not true. There are a lot of kinds of animals in the world, and they can breed perfectly well. If a ewe is cycling and a ram wants to breed her, they actually move their tail to the side. It's not a problem. And it actually might help her, because sometimes rams want to breed her when she's not ready to be bred and doesn't want it, so she could put her tail right over. But other people especially people who are showing sheep, cut the tails right off, right up to the spine at the top of her hips. This is a practice we don't like. For one, it leaves their private parts open to the elements, and you'd think that, I've heard them say that if you cut the tail right off, they have less fly strike, but we've bought in sheep that had no tail, and I can tell you those are the only ones that have ever had fly strike, because they have no way whatsoever of protecting themselves. So if they get diarrhea, it still sticks on their back end, and the flies will find it, and there's no way at all for them to protect themselves. Also, when you cut the tail right off, you if you're grazing outdoors, they can get sunburn on their privates. You don't want that either. And another thing is that there's ligaments and muscles attached to the tail head that if you sever it too short, people say that it can cause prolapsing. And there must be some science to that, because in Canada, the rule is that you're supposed to leave at least that much tail on a sheep. Plenty of people still ignore the rules and dock it right off, but we don't do that. We like to leave the bunny tail, just for the reasons I said. The fly swatting, it protects the ewe a little bit. And a lot of people will say that if you leave long tails on and stuff, the sheep will get dirtier. It's not really true either. If they're going to get dirty and diarrhea, they're going to get it anyway. Yes, if they have a long woolly tail, it's going to get all over that tail, and you'll have to cut it all off and clean it up. But even without a tail, if they have diarrhea and stuff, it's going to go all down their legs and all on their hips and stuff. So you're going to have to cut it anyway. So it's not really a valid reason. The reason people cut their tails right off is in the show ring. When a judge is looking at a sheep, they want to see a nice square rump. And if you have a tail that's sticking out, it kind of gives the impression that maybe the sheep has a pointier rump, in which case you can lose points for that in a show ring. We're going to say that judges are a little more intelligent than that, and they should be able to see that if it's a tail sticking out or a rump, and the rump is nice and smooth, they should be able to see that. And our theory is, at the shows, if you have a good rump, that little tail just kind of folds in right in with your butt cheeks, and it makes it's very obvious you've got a nice square rump. So we are not in favor of docking tails right off. However, we are selling breeding stock, and I really don't care. If my sheep had long tails, it would be okay with me. But most people in this country do not like long tails. It's just an aesthetic thing. That's all it is. And so we dock tails so that they can be sold. And yeah, because I'm raised that way, I think with Suffolks especially, the little bunny tails look really nice. Dorsets, I don't think you'd notice as much once they had their wool on, because they're such woolly sheep anyway. But Suffolks grow really long lion tails. Those of you who have been here a while have seen some of our sheep that we didn't dock, and it really does look silly. They look funny. So we dock for purely aesthetic reasons, and the shearers definitely don't like long tails in Canada anyway, because it's just an extra thing for them to shear. In fact, they complain about our shearing a bunny tail. So that's the story on tails. In the coveralls now, we just put some fresh straw out, because we're supposed to be going into some really, really brutal temperatures in the next couple of days. So we want lots of bedding for these guys to lay down in, to help keep them warm. The good thing about when they're in groups, they go under the feeder and the lambs all huddle together, so they keep each other warm. But I wanted to show you what's happening with the tails in here. See here where one's banded, and you can see how the end of the tail is starting to atrophy, and you can see what the tail's going to look like. Shortly that tail will drop off, and there you can see one or two actually that have lost their tails already. So they have bunny tails, see that? And these are all the older ones. Here's another one that's lost her tail. And this one over here. We do their tails at 2 days old because at that time apparently they don't have as much nerves developed, so it's less painful for them. I assume it feels like it just goes numb, and most lambs don't even react when you put the elastic on. Some of them will flinch up and down for an hour or so, but after that they don't act like there's any problem. But if you wait too long till they're older, I've heard that's not recommended, and if you're gonna dock tails when they're older, maybe you should consider using an anesthetic as well. Best to do it at 2 days old. We don't do it as soon as they're born because we want the lambs to focus on nursing and stuff like that. We don't want to distract them with something that could be painful for them. So we just wait that extra day to make sure that they're up and feeling well, and then we do it. And I believe that's the recommended practice as well. Whoops! You guys! And in the Suffolk pen, this is the younger lambs. So you can see they all have their tails on. Hi, you guys all have tails? This guy still has his tail on. He's in the older pen. He's the one that I mistagged. This is in the creep area. There should be some with no tails in here. Yep, there are. Hi. So these are the guys that are deciding they don't want to eat with mom anymore. There you can see the little gladiator lamb. Those two there have no tails. And see how it looks really nice? Covers everything up. Oh!
This lamb here, huh? So how old is this lamb?
Probably a month.
Huh?
A month?
No, he's not.
What number is it?
January, so he's 18.
Okay, but they did start lambing December 15th.
Okay, so but honestly,
A month.
So that lamb, hey Ben, that lamb is 3 times the size in 30 days.
Yeah.
That's a pound a day.
That's right.
But he's heavy.
Aren't you pretty?
He's 30 pounds.
And that's a girl too.
Yeah.
I think that one might be the one, your feeder jumper. She's heavy. You can see she's built nice.
Ready? Ready? Go.
25. Yeah, 25 could be January 1st, in which case she'd only be like 17 days. What do you guys see? Is that a dog? There's one nibbling right at you.
Good temperament.
They're all, look at them, they're all at the curious age. They want to look. He's a nice fellow.
See the bowl on that?
Yeah, he's very nice.
A little bit more like a box.
Yeah. But they're growing because they're eating now. They're nursing and eating. Hi, is that really good, you guys? You guys are all girls. Boy, all girls here except for one ram. And the happiest day a lamb has is when you put the bedding out. So they spread the straw for you. And now it's getting pretty dusty. Tomorrow we're probably going to give the Suffolk some straw, and you'll see them how excited they are as well. These boys are living together now. They're out of their squeeze area. They're getting along a little better. They still got a bit of attitude, but much better than they were. After the cold snap, we're going to bring all the other rams over to join them. But for now, we're using the rams in the other barn for warmth for the lambs. So normally, if we were to see a whole bunch of sheep gathered up at the front like this and nobody at the back, we would assume somebody was back there having lambs. But today, it's gone mild for the deep freeze again, I guess. So all of the sheep are up front because we got this door open. And see, they're up front over here as well. And we got this door open, so there's a cross breeze going through, and they're there to get the fresh air. And these are the ewes that will be going next. This is Casanova's group, and you can see we got some good udders going in here. These guys are due in a couple of weeks, I think. And then the group on the other side is due a week and a half later. So right now they're just here to eat, relax, get used to the new barn, their new accommodations. We put some Suffolks in this group because we needed space. We were full on the other side. And here comes their breakfast. So we got approximately 100 sheep in here, this barn. So they'll be eating about a bale a day. They're getting rosy and ready. This will be the first lambs we've ever had out of Casanova. So we'll see how he did. Things are a little slower now as we're nearing the end of the second cycle before this group starts. We had one ewe had twin lambs last night. They're coming in every day, 1 or 2, 3, which is a really nice pace. It lets us keep caught up and focus our attention on the sheep a lot better. Last year we had them tighter, and they were coming in 6, 8 ewes at a time, and that actually gets too much because it's hard to manage and watch the sheep as well. And yeah, if it gets too busy, we suffer and the sheep suffer and the lambs suffer. So this little dragging on a little bit of each day is actually a good pace for us. So how many we put in each barn is also limited by how much feeder space we have. And that's why we put some suffix on the other side, because you can see that every head gate is filled here on the Suffolk side. Now a couple of them on the Dorset side have followed the bale up, but we got a couple of extra head spaces down here for them. So everybody can eat.